Is there anything more painful, more heart-wrenching, than sensing that the very children you poured your life into, the ones you raised and loved unconditionally, no longer quite see you with the same regard they once did? Perhaps you feel a shift, a subtle withdrawal, a sense of being dismissed. Maybe your advice, once eagerly sought, is now brushed aside with a polite but firm smile. Or perhaps you feel like your concerns are not truly heard, that your experiences are outdated, that your voice just doesn't carry the weight it once did in their lives. It's a deeply uncomfortable, sometimes even lonely, feeling. You love them with all your heart. And yet, the dynamics have changed, leaving you wondering where the respect went and how you might ever get it back. The secret isn't about demanding it, or even about changing them. It's about powerful, subtle shifts you can make within yourself and your interactions that naturally draw that respect back to you. Like a magnet, it's about rebuilding bridges, not just with them, but with your own sense of self-worth in this new chapter of life. In this video, we're going to explore 5 powerful moves you can make. Practical steps that will gently, yet profoundly, transform your relationships with your adult children, helping you to regain that cherished respect. Stick with me until the very end, because I have something that will truly surprise you. Something that might just be the most important piece of all. Let's dive right into the first powerful move, one that often feels counterintuitive but is absolutely essential, honoring their boundaries and autonomy. You see, when our children grow up, they don't just become taller versions of themselves, they become independent adults, charting their own courses, making their own decisions, and yes, sometimes even making their own mistakes. Our natural inclination, as parents, is to protect, to guide, to offer wisdom gleaned from years of experience. We mean well, don't we? We've walked these paths before, and we want to spare them any pain or hardship. But here's the thing: unsolicited advice, constant questioning, or even well-meaning interference, no matter how lovingly given, can often feel like a challenge to their newfound autonomy. It can feel like we don't trust them to navigate their own lives. Imagine for a moment a conversation where your adult child is telling you about a difficult decision they're facing, perhaps with their job or their own children. Our first instinct might be to jump in with, "Well, what you should do is," or, "If I were you, I'd have done this differently." While our hearts are in the right place, that immediately shuts down their sense of agency. Instead, try a different approach. Listen deeply. Ask open-ended questions like, "What are you considering?" Or, "How do you feel about that?" Offer support, not solutions. Unless they explicitly ask for your advice, when they do ask, it's a golden opportunity because they've invited your wisdom, and it will be received with respect. But when it's not invited, stepping back and allowing them the space to figure things out, to even stumble and learn, shows an immense amount of trust and respect for them as capable adults. It tells them, without words, "I trust you. I believe in your ability to handle this." This is incredibly powerful. This extends to their parenting choices too, which can be a particularly tricky area. You might have raised your children one way, and now they're raising their own children completely differently. It's easy to comment, to suggest, to even criticize, perhaps unconsciously. But remember, they are the parents now. Their home, their rules, their choices for their children. By respecting those boundaries, even when you might privately disagree, you are respecting them as parents. This doesn't mean you can't offer a helping hand when asked, or share a story about how you handled a similar situation if it feels appropriate and doesn't come across as a lecture. But the key is that asked, when they see that you respect their decisions, even the ones you don't fully understand, they're much more likely to open up to you, to share more, and to value your presence in their lives. It changes the dynamic from a parent-child relationship to an adult-to-adult one, built on mutual respect. This kind of boundary setting isn't about creating distance. It's about creating healthy space for growth and connection. And that leads beautifully into our second powerful move, cultivating your own vibrant, fulfilling life that isn't solely dependent on your children for happiness or purpose. Think about it. Our children grew up watching us navigate life, build careers, maintain friendships, and pursue our passions. Then, for many of us, as our children launched into their own lives, there can be a period of adjustment, sometimes even a void. If our entire world shrinks to revolve around their lives, their problems, and their achievements, it can unintentionally place an immense burden on them. They might begin to feel like their every move is scrutinized, or that they are responsible for our emotional well-being. This can lead to a subtle pulling away, a feeling that they need space to breathe and build their own independent lives. But when you are deeply engaged in your own interests, when you have your own vibrant circle of friends, when you are pursuing hobbies or volunteering, or learning new things, you become an incredibly interesting, inspiring, and less demanding figure in their lives. You're not just mom or dad waiting by the phone. You're an individual with a rich tapestry of experiences and pursuits. Perhaps you pick up that art class you always wanted to try, or join a walking group, or learn a new language. Maybe you delve into a cause you care deeply about, dedicating your time and energy to making a difference. When your children see you thriving, see you happy and fulfilled in your own right, it sends a powerful message. It tells them that you are complete, that you have purpose and joy that doesn't rely solely on their attention or presence. This frees them up to connect with you out of genuine desire, rather than a sense of obligation. Imagine them sharing an exciting story about their week, and instead of immediately turning the conversation back to their family or their next visit, you can genuinely share about something exciting happening in your own life too. This creates a balanced conversation between two interesting individuals, not just a parent checking in on a child. It allows them to respect your independence, your resilience, and your continued growth. When they see you embracing life with enthusiasm, they see a role model, a person worthy of admiration and respect, not just a parent they need to take care of or worry about. It alleviates their subconscious guilt and creates a more joyful connection for everyone involved. These two initial steps, respecting their boundaries and cultivating your own fulfilling life, lay the groundwork for a truly respectful adult relationship, and they set the stage for our next powerful insights. Now that we've discussed the importance of honoring their boundaries and building a rich life of your own, let's move on to the third powerful move, mastering the art of empathetic listening and reining in the urge to lecture. This one is perhaps the most challenging for many of us, because for decades, our role as parents was to teach, to guide, to instruct. We were the fount of wisdom, the problem solvers. But with adult children, that dynamic needs to shift dramatically. They don't need us to solve their problems or tell them what to do anymore. At least not automatically. What they desperately need, and what earns immense respect, is to be truly heard. Empathetic listening means listening with the intent to understand, not the intent to reply. It means putting aside your own opinions, your own experiences, and your own solutions for a moment, and simply allowing them to express themselves fully. When your child comes to you with a challenge, or even just talking about their day, resist the urge to immediately jump in with a "you should," or "when I was your age," or "that's because you did this." Instead, try phrases like, "That sounds really tough," or "I can hear how frustrated you are," or "Tell me more about how that made you feel." Reflect back what you hear them saying, so they know you truly absorbed their words. So, if I'm understanding correctly, you're feeling overwhelmed by. This kind of active listening makes them feel validated, understood, and truly seen. Think about a time when you felt truly heard by someone, without judgment, without interruption, without them immediately trying to fix everything. How did that feel? It feels wonderful, doesn't it? It builds trust and a sense of psychological safety. When your adult children experience this from you, they learn that you are a safe space, a non-judgmental confidant, and someone they can genuinely share with. And here's the beautiful paradox: when you listen more, they are often more open to hearing your perspective. Should you offer it gently and respectfully, perhaps only when asked. If you constantly lecture, they learn to tune you out or avoid conversations that might lead to a lecture. But if you listen, they come to you not out of obligation, but because they value your presence and wisdom, even if it's just to be a sounding board. This subtle shift from advisor to empathetic listener will profoundly deepen your bond and earn you their heartfelt respect. Our fourth powerful move, and one that requires immense courage and humility, is to be willing to apologize and actively repair past hurts. No parent is perfect. We've all made mistakes, said things we regretted, or acted in ways that, in hindsight, might have caused pain to our children. As they become adults, they gain a clearer perspective on their upbringing, and they might carry resentments or unresolved issues from their past. While it can be tempting to defend ourselves, or to say, "I did my best," true respect is earned when we are willing to acknowledge our imperfections and genuinely apologize when we've fallen short. Whether it was last week or 20 years ago, an apology isn't about self-blame. It's about acknowledging their experience and validating their feelings. It's about saying, "I'm sorry if something I did or said caused you pain. That was never my intention, and I regret that it happened." Or, "I realize now that I might have been overly critical back then, and I'm truly sorry if that made you feel small." It's not about making excuses, but about taking responsibility for your part. This kind of authentic apology requires vulnerability, and vulnerability is a cornerstone of deep respect. When your adult child sees you capable of this kind of humility, they will see you not just as a parent, but as a wise, mature, and empathetic human being. It opens the door for healing and for moving forward into a healthier relationship. Sometimes, past issues are deeply ingrained, and an apology can be a first step, not a final solution. It might require ongoing effort to show that you're truly changing, that you're committed to building a new foundation. This isn't about dredging up every single past mistake, but about addressing moments or patterns that have clearly created a rift or a source of enduring pain. And here's something important to remember. You can apologize for your actions or words without agreeing with their interpretation of events. You can say, "I'm sorry that my actions led to you feeling that way," without necessarily agreeing with their entire perspective. The act of genuine apology and a willingness to repair sends a powerful message that you value the relationship above your own ego. And that, my friends, is truly worthy of respect. It allows both of you to let go of old burdens and step into a new, more open dynamic. And finally, our fifth powerful move, showing genuine appreciation and unwavering trust in them as adults. Think about how good it feels when someone you respect trusts your judgment, appreciates your efforts, and sees you as capable. Our adult children are no different. They are building their own lives, careers, and often families. They are navigating complex challenges. When we constantly offer unsolicited advice, question their decisions, or express doubt, even subtly, it chips away at their confidence and, by extension, their respect for our opinion. They might perceive it as a lack of trust in their abilities, or even a subtle criticism. Instead, actively look for opportunities to express your genuine appreciation for who they are and what they do. Thank them for the small things, for listening, for coming over, for a thoughtful gift, for handling a difficult situation. Praise their efforts and achievements. big and small, without immediately attaching a, "but you could have done this." For example, instead of saying, "That's a good job, but next time you should try. Wow, you really handled that well. I'm impressed." This kind of affirmation builds them up and reinforces their sense of competence. More than that, actively seek their advice. Ask them about their areas of expertise, whether it's technology, a particular subject, or even just their perspective on a current event. This demonstrates that you value their intelligence and their views, and it positions them as a respected equal, not just someone to be guided. When you show them that you trust their decisions, even if they're different from what you would have chosen, you empower them. For instance, if they decide to move to a new city or pursue a different career path than you envisioned, instead of expressing your worries, express your faith in their ability to make good choices and thrive. Say something like, "I know you'll make the best decision for yourself, and I support you." This kind of unconditional trust is a rare and precious gift, and it will be reciprocated with immense respect. It signals that you see them as capable, responsible individuals who are fully in charge of their own lives. This shift from being the guiding parent to being a supportive, appreciative, and trusting adult is transformative. It allows for a relationship built on mutual respect and admiration, where both parties feel valued and seen for who they truly are. So, we've walked through 5 powerful moves that can truly transform how your adult children see you and, in turn, how you feel about your role in their lives. We started by exploring the deep importance of honoring their boundaries and respecting their autonomy, giving them the space they need to truly flourish as individuals. Then, we talked about the incredible power of cultivating your own vibrant life, pursuing your own passions, and showing them that your happiness doesn't depend solely on their attention. This not only lightens their load, but makes you an even more fascinating person to be around. We then dove into the subtle but profound art of empathetic listening, moving beyond the urge to lecture and truly hearing what they have to say, creating a safe space for open communication. And we faced the courageous act of being willing to apologize and repair past hurts, demonstrating a humility and vulnerability that strengthens bonds and heals old wounds. Finally, we emphasize the transformative impact of showing genuine appreciation and unwavering trust, acknowledging their competence and valuing their contributions as adults. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds like a lot of work. Or, what if it doesn't change anything right away? And you're right. It's a journey, not a quick fix. Building true respect takes time, patience, and consistency. But here's the beautiful truth. These shifts begin with you. You cannot change your children, but you can absolutely change your approach, your mindset, and your interactions. And when you change, the dynamics of the relationship naturally begin to shift. Remember, small changes can make a profound difference to your relationships and your overall happiness. The surprise I mentioned earlier, the most important piece of all, it's that as you make these powerful moves to gain respect from your children, you will simultaneously gain an even deeper, more profound respect for yourself. By focusing on what you can control, by living with intention and grace, you will feel more empowered, more fulfilled, and more at peace. This journey isn't just about them. It's deeply about your own continued growth and well-being. I truly hope this has given you some valuable insights and actionable steps. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. Have you tried any of these approaches? What has worked for you in your relationships with your adult children? Please share your wisdom in the comments below. Your experiences can help so many others. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We have so much more helpful content designed just for you, to help you live your best life at every age. Thank you for spending this time with me. Keep embracing life, keep growing, and live your best life at every age.